Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Random Sam Epic Mom. Well, tonight we're going to try and do something easy. We're going to do Nacho Night. And with any good Nacho Night, you got to have your ingredients ready. So let's take a look. You got to have your ground beef that we're going to cook up. Got to have the chips, or it's not right. We're going to dice up some tomatoes, but the most important part for our nachos is some Velveeta cheese and Rotello. Now this is just a start, guys. We still got to cut it up and do all that. Now, when you're prepping everything, when cutting tomatoes up, I find that using a steak knife with the serrated edge there actually helps cut this stuff up a lot easier. And again, this is personal preference, you guys. However much cheese or tomatoes you want to cut up, it is all about what you want. If you want huge pieces of tomatoes for your nachos, if you don't want them for your nachos, again, that's okay. Everything that you do at home is for you. Just remember that. But we gotta get this prep done. Alright, so this is still prep stuff, but you gotta cut things up, drain things, all that. And this is just pretty much part of having to cook. Now remember, I have a big family, so I'm always gonna have to make more than what you're used to seeing. Oops. Now, as you finish up with your prep work, one of the things that I suggest you do, it is not required obviously, this is just a pet peeve that I learned over time, is that as soon as you are done with your cutting board and all your prep stuff's done, it's going to be dirty, especially with like tomato juice and such. And I don't know how often you guys cook or not, but tomato juice has a tendency to stain everything. It doesn't matter if it's a fresh tomato or anything else. So take your dirties, put them in the sink, but add some water. Now, this probably seems like an extra step that's not necessary, but this will come in handy at the end of the night when you don't want to deal with this. So, now that we have our prep stuff ready, we can start to cook. Since we're using 2 of these cans and a little over half a block of Velveeta already cubed up. So what we're going to do is take 1 can, empty it out, kind of spread it about. Let's turn on the stove. Actually, make sure it's the right burner. Now, as you can see, we've put a whole can in there. Now we're going to take the Velveeta and we're going to just dump it on top. Then we take the second can. Wooden spoon, whatever. And we're only going to want to put this at medium because we don't want it to burn onto the side because nobody wants burnt stuff. Now, obviously you can throw your trash away. It's always good, as I said, to clean as you go. You can hold on to the container that you had the cut up cheese in so that at the end of the night, whatever's left over, you can just put right in. Next, what we will also begin doing is frying our hamburger. This one, put a little above medium. Not quite everything, but we're just going to be pushing this around. And heating this up. Now, some people, when they're making nachos, will end up adding seasonings such as just taco mix or just plain seasoning salt. You can do it just plain meat or you can add some. My kids like some seasoning, so we're going to add some seasoning salt. Now guys, as you can see, after just a few minutes, Cheese is finally starting to melt into it. Right now it kind of looks a little soupy and such, but give it time. And of course our beef is starting to brown up. We have sprinkled a little bit of seasoning salt on it, so it's doing okay. And again, with starting both of these at the same time, it will make it so much easier. The meat won't go cold, and the cheese won't start to harden when you're done. Now, something else for you guys to think about is that I happen to be a mom with a couple kids with celiac disease. Everything in tonight's meal is gluten-free. This is safe for everybody to eat. There is no special products that we had to buy. It's just all naturally gluten-free. This makes it really nice, and because I don't know when I'm going to post this video, but we are cooking on a Friday night. And Friday nights, after a week of school, you don't want to be doing anything heavy. Everybody wants a break. So what we're going to do on most nights is make sure that we're at least going to have a healthy but easy and good dinner. There's no point in slaving away. Now, obviously, this is taking me a little bit more time because I'm playing with the camera. But cooking your beef up shouldn't take more than 5-10 minutes tops. All depends how high you cook it at. The cheese is going to take a little bit longer. Now, the Rotella diced tomatoes with the chilies in it, we use the original, not the mild or the hot, but you know, a good medium. And as you guys can see, it is starting to come. Now it is going to look a little watery at first, but it will start to thicken up. Now guys, once it starts to get to this kind of soupy consistency, you want to turn the heat down. You've melted your cheese, which is great. But now you want to start thickening up again. Plus, if you leave it on too high, the cheese is going to burn to the bottom of the pan. And no offense, but we can all taste that when it happens. So, as with everything, just turn it down, let it start to thicken. This is mostly right now, we're only keeping the heat on so that when it's time to serve, they'll be ready to go and we won't have to reheat. As you can see, we are just about done with our beef. And again, this is very simple. This isn't, you know, brain surgery or anything like that, or making a 4-course meal. This is cheap, easy. Well, I'm not going to say cheap because, you know, Velveeta's not always cheap. But this is a great weekend, late night meal. If you got the ingredients on hand, it does not take long to do. Alright, next trick, guys, is this. If you have more than 2 people in your household, heck, even if it's just more than 3, it is going to be tough to serve everybody at the same time. So for nights like this, you have one of 2 choices. You either A, serve one plate at a time and get each kid involved. And in a sense, we're going to do that tonight. But sometimes it helps to prep this again with hay. You've got chips on the plate, and then we can go from there. Now everybody is going to have the cheese sauce. You can't have nachos without cheese. But each person is going to decide, hey, do I want tomatoes? Do I want meat? Do I just want the cheese? And that's what we allow. This is kind of individual portions. I mean, it's great when the restaurants bring you out the big, super nachos. But it's kind of nice when you can individualize your own stuff. And again, I have a family of 7, so I have got the party size bag of bite-sized ones. These bite-sized ones are really great for the nachos, especially for little kids, because there's no way that they're gonna, you know, cut their mouths open as easily as with the big chips. Now, we are, as you can see, going through an entire bag of tortilla chips and still needing more. Which is why, even if you only have a few people eating this, have 2 bags. Because if you have leftover cheese, you're going to want some for, you know, leftover night or, you know, lunch tomorrow or just a snack later on. Now, I don't always use a ladle for this, but this time it is going to be useful. And go from plate to plate. Everybody's going to have their cheese ready to go. Once the cheese is on everybody's plate, you can call each kid up as you see fit. Get them fed, and once they're in the kitchen, you can ask, hey, do you want meat? Do you want tomatoes? What's it gonna be? And as you can see, it's still nice and liquidy. It hasn't gotten too hard or anything, but it is going to stick to these chips deliciously. And my whole theory is, if you're gonna do something, make sure it tastes good. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to go to all the effort of cooking for everybody and then not enjoy it myself. So, as you can see, now we'll make an example one of just putting a little bit of meat on it. It doesn't have to be a lot, but, you know, put some on there. A little bit of diced tomatoes. Get a glass of milk or water or, you know, even some juice for tonight. And this is a great little one. So that is our nacho night. I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching this. I hope you got hungry and will go out and make it yourself. But for now, that's going to be it for tonight. This is Random Sam saying enjoy, make every day count by finding the fun, and just get some of your own. Bye. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. Please check out our other videos already on YouTube. And give us a like and subscribe. And if you hit that bell for notifications,